What's up, Slimepack? Got you in the title on here.
What, babe?
Nothing.
What's up, Slimepack?
I was just talking about Slimepack. Just told her that I'm taking off more time than Slimepack. You got a scratcher? All right.
In the middle. Ow!
Well, what do you want me to do, motherfucker? Shit.
What was that?
It was my hands.
That was like fingernails.
I thought that's what you wanted, fingernails.
Light, not digging into me. Did you leave marks? How?
All right, I don't know what you want. I tried to use.
Just scratch, not.
Okay. You know
What
you,
is that?
I don't know. You got to figure it out. Whatever you would have done if I wasn't here.
Whoa. Why didn't you say something?
I said I was on here. All right.
Damn.
So anyway, sorry about the interruption.
That was rude.
Okay. Trying to get this other phone set up so I could read comments and stuff. All right, so anyway, just been at home chilling. Haven't really been doing much of shit. What's up, 0116? So I'm just, those of you who watched my last video, it's been a few days, right? I haven't even been really trying to get after the bourbon. I mean, that's like not even, that's barely even having any as long as I've been home. So just haven't found the motivation to really go after that. Just kind of been trying to catch up on sleep more than anything. I'm thinking about how much I don't want to really go to work. Some of you guys may not, some of you guys may not know this movie from back in the 70s, but I did watch, I went to the gym, got a little cardio in, and watched the 1973 classic, The Mac. Some of you guys, I'm sure if Shamarcus came in here, he would know what movie I'm talking about. But anyway, that's about it. Just got the link for tomorrow's safety meeting. And I was thinking, maybe we should play safety meeting bingo. You know what I mean? That's a different topic. Maybe we'll get into that here in a little bit. Let's see. Trying to make it to White House, Tennessee to get some naf-naf. Hey, that is always worth a good stop. Now, I have drove by it a couple times when I was just like, man, I wanted to stop, but it was like too late in the day, and I didn't want to I was going to have to stop in some crappy place, and I was worried about the parking past that. And then I think I might have fueled up like right before that, and I didn't want to just stop again, but definitely my place to go. Just saw a video yesterday. It makes me want to put out the odds on making a little bit more money here coming up. I already made $50 on it. I might just want to go ahead and count my money instead of trying to risk any more of that. But I saw that we now know where this driver is going to work at, so I might have to wager that one. So, Slimepack, you're trying to get to naf-naf. Where are you at now? And where's everybody else at? I talked to a few people, or a few people texted me because I posted a video kind of clowning people that got stuck up in the Northeast. And somebody said, man, that video is about me. I didn't even think about the weather. He's stuck up there right now. I don't know if he's out yet or not. Yeah. Up in Henderson yesterday. Bowling Green. Are you at the Dollar General in Bowling Green, or you just happen to be in Bowling Green? All right. Shout out to Goofy Goober. That's it. Yeah, we done with that. All right. So anyway, those of you guys that have been at, I did get to peel my hair back a little bit. Need to get a little sunlight on it, because it's looking a little, light in spots where the sun hasn't been able to creep through there. But picked up at Purdue. All right. So anyway. The meeting's coming up tomorrow, the Prime Inc. meeting, right? Now, I think traditional bingo is like 5 rows across, 5 rows down. That might be a few too many rows. But if we were to play Prime Inc. safety meeting bingo, I think we'd be good if we did like, let's say 3 rows down. And 3 rows across. So that would give us 1, 2, 3. God damn it, I did that wrong. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3. So that would give us 9 different possibilities. So if you've been at Prime, or watch Prime meetings, watch more than 4 of them. Let's kind of come up with some things that might come out in the meeting tomorrow, or some things that might be said. Now, the first thing I want to go with is Prime is a destination company. I'm not saying that it's not a destination company. I'm just saying they're definitely going to bring that up in the meeting tomorrow. Anybody else got anything else in there? Okay, I got one for you. We're going to say not necessarily a statement, but we're going to refer to how many years an in-house person has been there. Come on, anybody else got something else? Slimepack, anybody else watches these meetings? Come on, let's get in there, because I'm going to be revealing my bingo card tomorrow after the meeting, maybe the next day after that. All right, looks like a few people may be driving. Let me come up with these things on my own then. We are going to refer to your business, meaning our business. So referring to driver's business. Oh, I was getting to that one. Hey, Slimepack, I'm glad you came in on that one. That's going to be my center. That's going to be the center right here. That's right there. So So yeah, definitely. We're going to talk about how much money you can make in training. Money you can make training. Yep, I definitely had that one in the back of my mind. Talk about, okay, we are a low cost carrier, not a cheap carrier. There you go. Low cost, not cheap. That's a good one there. There's a bunch of stuff to come up with that's just too obvious. So I'm not going to be talking about the stuff that's just part of any meeting, just off rip. But here's one I will say. Okay, this is going to be something that's not said. Okay, so what is not going to be mentioned? So not mentioned. Anybody want to come in with some news that kind of got leaked out, but it really wasn't like really put out there, that they're not going to mention in the meeting tomorrow? I'll give about 20 seconds on that one. So this is not going to be mentioned. And it should. All right, let me just go ahead and start this now. What's up, Brick House? Okay, this is what's not going to be mentioned. D. Sova no longer at Prime. All right, so that's something that's not going to be mentioned right there. All right, so Slimepack's keeping it pretty white and black right there. New Freightliners. All right. So far we got Prime as a destination company. They're going to refer to how many years somebody in-house has been there. What's not going to be mentioned is D-Sova no longer at Prime. Them referring to drivers' businesses. So how to make your business successful and this and that and that. Slimepack came up with money that can be made training. Somebody else brought up low cost, not cheap. Low cost is not cheap. And then new Freightliners. Brickhouse Trucker, what are you talking about? Why? I'm just coming up with a bingo card. So tomorrow I'm going to watch the meeting, and every time they say one of these little things or come up with something that's on my little bingo card, I'm going to see if I can get like 3 in a row. I didn't think I could come up with 25, so I just did 3 rows right here. What do you mean sleep? I'm going to tell you what, this has nothing to do with this card, but this has all to do with stupidity. If you're at Prime, you got a message right before this snowstorm hit the Northeast, just like the one that went through the Southeast like a few weeks ago. And what did they say? Pick up a load and then shut down. That is the dumb, like, listen, the only people that would say this is nobody that's out there driving trucks. Why on earth would you go pick up a load just to shut down and have to babysit? Like, could you imagine babysitting a trailer with 18 inches of snow or whatever just fell right there? That's like crazy. Like, and the part that like really gets me, first of all, it wasn't sent by a former driver or anything like that, or anybody that's drove. But Listen, that is not safe. That to me, that's not a safety issue. That's nothing. Like the theory was, if you pick up a load once the snow gets cleared, you're going to be doing better because you have a loaded trailer. Now that makes sense. If it was just like a little regular snow and you knew it was going to be over by the next day, but why am I going to get loaded at a shipper? And I don't know how long it's going to take. Now it's taking them too long to get me loaded. Now I'm like in the middle of the snow, maybe in the middle of a band. And let's say that it's not that case. Let's say I pick up a load, it's a drop and hook. I get to the truck stop as soon as possible, and then I shut down, and then the truck stop is shut down for like 2 days, and I got to worry about how much fuel I got in the trailer, especially if you pick up in the Northeast. There may not be a fuel place like right there, right? No. That is going to be some advice I'm never going to follow right there. Pick up a load and shut down and get out of here. All right, anyway. Your dispatcher is your business partner. That's a good one right there. Now, typically, if you're going to be talking about business partners, they're going to be two like-minded businesses or companies that are in business together. So it could be like Nissan and, one of their suppliers or something like that. Or even one of their dealers. But it's not going to be Nissan and one of their W-2 employees. That's a great one right there. Your dispatcher is your business partner. Now, I do agree with that, but I'm just saying that it is a little irritant of mine. So anybody that's driving trucks, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong to want to go pick up a load when there's a blizzard, snowstorm, all that stuff coming in, just to shut down and wait out the storm. Now, dry van is a totally different situation. Flatbed, maybe a totally different situation. But as a reefer driver, do you think it's in your best interest to pick up a load when a storm's on the way that is as big as they're saying it's going to be? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, 74749. What's the snow apocalypse like? And I have no idea. I've been sitting at home since Monday. I think it's Monday. I delivered on Monday. I got picked up. My wife picked me up on Tuesday, so I've been home since then. If it's a day load, listen, if you could pick, here's the problem, is they're acting like everybody knows what the future holds. So technically, if they're like, okay, I can go pick up this drop and hook or whatever, and then get out and start heading west like immediately, that's a totally different story than if I don't know how long it's going to take. Like, basically, you don't know. Like, the unknown is the whole issue here. So it doesn't matter if it's a day load or if it's a 2-day load or 3-day load. If you pick up that load and you can't get out of the path of that snowstorm, now you're babysitting a reefer for I don't know how many days. And don't let that be on some continuous shit. So what I think is us picking up a load makes things easier for the shipper. So now they don't have to worry about fueling up reefers and all that kind of stuff that are sitting on their property and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, dry load definitely wouldn't be an issue with a dry load as long as you can like my biggest fear because this has happened to me. It wasn't a storm as big as the one that just passed, but I picked up a load knowing it was gonna snow, and by the time I was loaded, it had already, I was like already in the middle of the snowstorm, so I mean, luckily I happened to be, and one of the reasons I actually took that load to get loaded at that point was I was like 5 miles from the Salt Lake City terminal. But these people were kind of cool. They're like, hey, if you need to sit here till tomorrow morning or, whatever, as long as you need, you could just stay here. So, that's different. And that should almost be mandatory. If you're loading us and there's a storm warning, then you need to allow us to stay there until we can move out. I got one more place on my my safety meeting bingo card. So if anybody comes up with anything else that might get brought up in the safety meeting tomorrow, go ahead and yell that out. I mean, I'm going to throw in the gimme here pretty soon if I don't get somebody else coming up with. All right, I'm going to have to go ahead and throw in the gimme. All right. Captain of your ship. That's like a gimme right there. Johnny, what kind of old school are you talking about? Are you talking about old school like movies? Or are you talking about old school like music? Because I just got done watching the Mac, and that had me cracking up.
How old are you, Will? How old are you?
Here you go. Here's some old school for you.
Let me 18. No, man, all bitches are the same, just like my hoes, I keep them broke. Wake up one morning with some money, the subject to go crazy, I keep them looking good, pretty, and all that,
But no
dough. When I get a bitch, I got a bitch. Ooh, right on. Remember that Mac the bear? Yeah. Tried to steal one of my bitches. Yeah, I called him up on telephone. I said, hey, man, come on over to the pad and let's rap a taste on it, So when he comes over, I told her to give him a little taste, because she sure as shit wasn't getting none from me.
He was there for the honey.
That nigga wanted the honey. All he wants is the money.
Anyway, that's just some old school I was watching. That's 1973. That's old school right there. Just old school gangster movie. Yeah, this Pam Grier was back in some of them old ass movies from. Man, I'm starting to lose my connection on here.
Okay. Say you have a low credit score and you want a credit card.
So anyway, what kind of old school are you talking about? Because I could always talk old school, 60s or 70s, 80s. That's what I grew up in right there. It could be history, movies, music, all that. Shit, I was just talking to somebody about back in the days. So back in the days, you used to be able to drink when you're like 18 years old and shit. I remember being with some of my boys, got pulled over. My boy was driving, and cops just told us to, or we followed the, or I think, yeah, we followed the cop home. That was it. No, like, totally different time, totally different era. All right, my favorites. All right. Hey, Chips was a good TV show too, man. Everything was exciting in Chips, man. I remember when the guy was he was like a truck driver. I don't know why I remember this one, but he was a truck driver delivering fruit to like some place. And I think he was like a renegade truck driver or something like that. And they were like trying to flatten his tires and do everything they could to keep him from delivering the fruit, like, or, you know, to a vegetable stand or something like that. I remember that. I think I might have been more of a Bionic Man fan than a Chips fan. Man, I am sad, man. That's the only reason I came on here. Is I really want to keep it locked inside, though. That's what us Gen X people do. We don't let that shit out. I saw Prime was rolling out the 27 pizza. I wonder what they changed. What they need to do is lengthen that wheelbase out again. I cannot. Them little short ass midget stubby looking new Peterbilts. That is like the worst thing they ever did. Like that almost eliminates. It doesn't eliminate it, but it almost eliminates one of the major reasons to get a Peterbilt. Them little short ass. Oh, that looks horrible. So I don't think anything changed with the Peterbilt. Man, I wasn't having no problem this morning. I was yeah, I wasn't having no problem today. I did go up to the gym today, and they had the old. See, here's the problem. I didn't want to go to the gym I used to work out at because that's like too much of a real gym and shit. So we got this rec center that's kind of by my house. It's like a pretty big ass fucking place, rock climbing wall, all that stuff in there. But I went in there the wrong time. The old, you know, what do they call them? Silver Slipia women's group was in there, like basically trying to force people out of the equipment they wanted to use and everything. So what's up?
I was just in with some of my sewing stuff. And there's a little table that she brought in there.
What about it?
And there's her.
Okay, why don't you tell her to
I
get
did.
it?
I called her. I was like,
Tell her to stop.
You're not going to believe this.
Yeah.
She's like, she's been tearing her room in the basement apart.
Yeah, tell her to stop being stupid.
She's not on the phone right now. But anyway.
She is on the phone?
No, she is not on the phone right now.
Okay.
But I was like, you're not going to believe this. Because earlier I called her and I found this magnet sheets of paper that we were looking for at Christmas and we couldn't find it anywhere.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, good news. And I was like, oh, wait, but not that. So then I called her back and I'm like, well, guess what? I do have that. You know.
So anyway, that
is good news.
I look genuinely sad. Shit, I don't know what that is. I don't think that's ever been a I don't think that's ever been anything that anybody would normally use to describe me. I could see angry, pissed off, a whole bunch of these other different things, but sad isn't usually one that people would use to describe me. Oh, I've been sad, but I wouldn't say that that would be anything that anybody would go out of their way to.
I shouldn't jump in there. Looks like you're playing bingo.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Terry Tim Travels, what's going on? What I have going on here, I have all my spots filled up. But what I'm going to be playing tomorrow in the Prime Inc. meeting is Prime Inc. Bingo. So I only got 3 spaces across, three slots down. So a total of 9 different things. So what we came up with so far is what things they're going to say in the meeting tomorrow is Prime is a destination company. How many years a certain in-house person, you pick the person, has been at Prime. What's not going to be mentioned is DeSova no longer being at Prime. They're going to refer to our business. So, the way to, to make your business profitable or whatever it is, that kind of stuff. They're going to bring that up. How much money you can make in training. That we're a low-cost carrier, not a cheap carrier. Going to talk about new Freightliners. Your dispatcher is your business partner. And the captain of your ship. That was a throw-in. I was looking for somebody to come up with something better than that. All right. What's up, Lyle? Anakin, what's going on? I hope they fix those Pete's. Should be at Prime by 2027. Them Pete's are still going to be sawed off looking little ass Pete's. So I really don't know if I'm going to get another truck or not, even when I got to get this one off the fleet. I don't know. Availability equals money. You know what? I'm going to put that one. I might come up with another. Keep coming up with these things. I might come up with a larger bingo card. Availability. God damn it. All right. Bro, reefer spot market is nuts. I don't necessarily look at the money like that, and people are always like, man, you're crazy, or they don't believe me, or whatever the situation is. I don't even have the option to look at how much money loads are before they get sent to me. And I don't know if Ed's in here or not. He's just coming off of home time. He may be just wrapping up things at home. He will ask me, because I'll say, I got a load going from here to here. I'll screenshot it to him. It's like, how much does it pay? I don't even know. I might glance at it. I may not even glance at it. So I just know that from what I'm hearing, people are saying that they pulled similar loads before and it paid X amount. Now it's paying whatever. I mean, last week, it wasn't even that strong of a week, but shit, as my man said in the Mac, I made so much money, I might have to hire another motherfucker just to count it for me. Now I'm just joking, but seriously, it wasn't a huge week as far as miles or stuff like that, but the loads are paying. I don't know. I don't know if they're normal or not, but I wouldn't have guessed that I would have net that much out of it. So I heard that the rates are going up. Your FM is always offering the best possible loads. Okay, I might. And if that's the case, why would we need to have a relationship with our fleet manager? Now, I don't agree with that. I do think that it helps. And I've just seen too much, as Tim Travel says, too much anecdotal evidence to suggest that your fleet manager is not always offering you the best load. It may be the best load for them to get off of their plate or to, get that load moved, but that may not always be the best for us. And that doesn't mean I won't take that bullshit. It just means I'm not going to take a bad load that I don't want to take into a bad area and all that kind of stuff. So. All right, JVC, parked step deck for reefer. I'm grossing 10K weekly. Man, it doesn't matter how much money you're grossing weekly. The last thing I would have wanted to be doing out there, one time, listen, there was one moment that made me knew that even in the days back when I was like, always in the gym and always down to do anything like that, it wouldn't have mattered. I was out I think I was in Butte, Montana, minus 28 degrees, and I saw a flatbed dude out there trying to tighten down his tarp or something like that, and I'm looking at this guy like he's a fucking superhero or some shit like that, because there is no way. Like, I'll be honest with you, at minus 28 degrees, I felt guilty even putting in that I did a vehicle inspection on that day. I was like, we just going to have to turn it on and pray for the best at this time, because it was windy too, minus 28 and windy, and it was showing minus 28 on my thing. I don't know what it was. I think it might have been showing like around the same, because it was actually colder. It was like you could hear that wind blowing out there, and that was like one of the few days, because I was parked way. You guys know there's that big ass town pump in Butte, Montana. I'm parked like way out there. So I think that's why the flatbed dude was out there, because he needed some space to get his tarp and everything down. When it was time for me, because I had to take a shit, I knew there was no way I was walking all the way up from there. So I drove all the way from there to the fuel island, went into the fuel island, ran inside, and did my thing and just came back out. But there's no way I was walking that far. Hell no. All right. All right, Queenie, what happened to my hair? Just get out from behind bars. Basically, shit. Been in that truck for like 6 weeks. That's the same thing as being behind bars, if you really think about it. No paid off prime truck, and I rented. Okay, my paid off prime truck, and I rented a reefer. I might have bought a reefer. Everybody's like asking me, would you go here? Would you go there? And all this kind of stuff. And I'm thinking about where I would potentially go or possibly go and all that kind of stuff. And I probably would have just bought a trailer at that point, especially if it's a dry van trailer. I mean, you could get a super nice dry van trailer for cheap. Now, reefer trailer, you might have to step up a little bit, but at least if some shit goes wrong with my trailer, I know who did it. Yeah, flatbed has actually worked. Actually, definitely. No interest in that one myself. I don't know if I don't necessarily play bingo. I don't know if you get like 2 little extra things to use or whatever. So I got 9, and then I got 2 extras. Okay, so you have a step deck trailer, didn't want to purchase another trailer. I hear you. My problem with even owning a trailer is, do you realize how pissed off I would be if I went to a shipper or receiver and it came out looking like some of these trailers look like that we drop off? I don't know, I don't take before and after pictures, and sometimes they're preloaded, but I would be so pissed if I took my shit to I would probably take pictures of my trailer every time because that would just piss me off. 412, what's up? I don't know if we should go ahead and come up with another line on your boy starting another job. I mean, I was talking to somebody about this earlier, and he was asking me, how long you think your boy's going to be there? And I was like, man, like 8 months. He's like, 8 months, isn't that long? And I was like, yeah, but I think he might be on his best behavior since he's moved around so much. So that would be my line right there is 8 months. That's the over-under on it. I'm just going to let that sit there. You know what I mean? That money sitting there is even better than me spending it because it makes me think about you every day. Like, oh, man. Having your own trailer and authority and all that seems like a lot of work. I don't want no full authority. I would never want that. Hey, I told you to, let me see if I got some more credits. Because I told you if you stopped at a TA or Petro, let me know. I think I might be down on my credits. I still got 2 credits, man. If you stop at a TA or Petro, let me know. Hook you right on up with that parking, shower. Not that you need a shower, but the meal credit is what it's about right there. So that's my line, 412. 8 months. That's where I'm like setting the line. Yep, Terry Tim Travel said he had a guy that had a brand new dry van and asked the guy asked him if he was sure he wanted him to load it, that it was so new. All right, 412, 10 minutes from his own shower. That's good. That probably has been one of the best things about being home. Is not having one of you thuggish people get off the toilet right before me, so I got to look at you in the eye, all violated and everything, and walk in there and have a pre-warmed, toilet seat. That's probably the cold toilet seat is probably the best part. And Tim Travels, I don't know if you were here for the last one. Boom. We're going with the little Jack Daniel's single barrel, heritage barrel right there. So it's a toasted barrel offering at 100 proof. Listen, I opened this like Tuesday. And then got the Old Forester Rye 133 proof right here. I think this is the better of the two, the Old Forester Rye. So neither of these are technically bourbons, even though Jack Daniel's is always considered a bourbon, even though it's more of a whiskey. Technically, I guess you could say a whiskey. All right, I like the way you're doing it. About to retire with the pension and the kids big already. Here, what I need is to get these kids out on their own. I got one of them out there. He's out on his own, but I got my daughter in here. And this is good. You seen that movie Failure to Launch or whatever that was? That's kind of what I feel like right here. That's what I feel like. So yeah. I'm glad you reminded me of that. I'm gonna get with my wife here in a little bit and have her transfer some money over to our brokerage account. I let the wife deal with that. I have the same issue. You know what? The problem is sometimes man. Sometimes when you're dealing with these older fucking kids, you know, maybe it was just being too soft in general when people are growing up or whatever, but you know, here's how the last time I went out happened. So my daughter's car went out and immediately I get the call and I'm thinking in the back of my head, why the fuck am I getting called? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is some shit I never would have even thought about calling anybody else for back in the day. I just have to handle it, right?
Shocked me.
Yeah. So I just have to handle
Very
it.
out of character. I know what it is.
What it is because I knew
That
you were
little
going to
boy.
fucking have to deal with it if I didn't. Either way, so now I get forced into a position. So it's like, okay, you know what? Drive my car while I'm out and then just save up some money. We'll think about doing some stuff when we get home. And then I was like, you know what? She sends me a picture of an $18,000 car on the internet. Now I'm thinking I haven't bought an $18,000 car in like, I don't even know how long it's been. I think the last time I bought an $18,000 car was my wife's. No, that was, what was 18,000?
BMW.
No, it wasn't.
Hmm.
That BMW wasn't even $15,000.
Hmm.
That BMW wasn't even like $12,000. That X5,
Really?
the only car I spent that much money for.
Why did you
The only reason,
miss that car?
the only car I spent that much money on was that Ram truck.
Miss that car.
Other than that, what were we buying? I was buying $3,000 cars. You know, I bought.
You buy it, I drive it. I don't care.
I bought a car. I bought like a couple Explorers that were like $2,500 driving for a year, selling for like $3,000, $2,500. I bought an Expedition, bought it for like $4,500, drove it like a year and a half, 2 years, sold it for $5,500. Like, and she's sending me all this shit. So anyway, but beyond that. So I said, just drive the car and all this kind of stuff. And then when you get home, we could think about some other shit. I might loan you some money or whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'm really not going to be driving it that much, you know, so we could just split the car while you're here. She's got that fucking car looking like that motherfucker's hers. That pissed me off right there. When I'm seeing shit dangling from the mirror and all. Listen, if I was borrowing another person's car, the last thing I'd be doing is out there personalizing the shit. Anyway, that kind of pissed me off a little bit. All right, anyway. I don't know how I got on that topic, but maybe it came down to the whole retirement thing when I was thinking about why I've been spending money I shouldn't be spending. Okay, they're definitely more expensive. They're definitely more expensive than they were. I hope you.
Put your stuff in the trash for you.
Yeah. Hope you're saying they're more expensive now than when they were babies, because that'd probably be more.
Now they're very expensive.
No, I'm talking about these old fucking over 20-year-old kids that are begging for money is more expensive than fucking babies.
Does she beg for money at all? No.
You don't have to beg for money when you're living here, not paying for anything. Like, you don't. Okay, listen.
This.
What? Okay. Nobody's watching this shit. Or at least she ain't. And if she is, she needs to be at work. What's that?
Wrong.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to say.
Wrong.
Is if you're not paying rent.
And why? Why? So maybe you better tell the whole thing.
Okay,
This
why?
is what I'm talking talking about. You're gonna say this.
Okay,
shit,
why?
You better say it all.
Well, why?
Because you're like, I just want you to just be stacking cash. Put it on.
Well, exactly.
You're not talking about all the marshmallow stuff. You're like, yeah.
Well, where is the stacking cash coming in?
You need.
Where is the stacking cash coming in?
Okay, that's what she's doing now. How does she have money in the account? You've talked about this. That's what I'm saying. You're wrong. You
Well,
are
here,
wrong.
listen. If you're not, listen. However you want to say it. If somebody's not paying,
You know what makes you work? That no, this is wrong.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Wrong.
No, it's not.
Yep.
Now I'm wrong because I'm actually bringing up the fact that somebody's not paying for shit.
Because she's just doing what you told her to do. That's what I'm saying.
It shouldn't even come to that point. Even if my dad said you could do it, I wouldn't have ever done
The
it.
thing is, it did. It is what it is.
And it certainly didn't come up with personalizing my fucking car and everything. So where do you want to come with that? I mean, we could be sensitive all we want.
No, now you're trying to act all hard, but you forget all the shit.
I'm not being all hard.
When you were being all sensitive,
I'm
you
speaking-
told her exactly what to do. She's following what you told her to do.
Right. It shouldn't even have got to this point.
I'm just saying, don't be talking
Like-
about on Sunday when they're following instructions that marshmallow.
Well, my instructions would have been to fucking get with the guy that could fucking take care of you from the very beginning. That's the fucking initial instruction. Not getting with some fucking bum that can't even take care of himself. No. You want to keep running your mouth? We can go there.
You know what? And you got a little boy who's like,
He ain't
You
watching
need to
shit.
Fucking stop.
Okay, well, you need to.
You need to stop.
Hey, you want to keep running your mouth? We can keep going.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna run my mouth, all right.
Okay. All right, let me get off here and go straighten this fucking woman out. She's acting like she ain't got no goddamn sense. All right, I'm out.